in agreement. Home run celebration is the #1 bit in Bits Bracket 3.
Love it.
I really hope that some of you out there
Agree.
get it
Yeah.
and aren't mad at us.
Hi. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I haven't posted in like 6 months, which is weird. It's been a long 6 months, but it's been a good 6 months. It's been a good 6 months. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I hope you've been doing pretty good. I have no way of knowing, of course, but still, I've been extremely busy with school, and I've also been extremely busy with Hivemind stuff. If you're new here, that's all good. I'll give you a quick rundown of everything. My name is Kate, and I work for Hivemind. I'm only like a contract worker. I'm a stream mod for them, and I do behind the scenes work on like the bits brackets and the one-liners bracket. So if you've seen those, I probably had something to do with it. So that's exciting, that's cool. Since I have that background in like working on these videos, and I kind of like got to do the process of making these videos sort of, I feel like I have a good understanding of the bits and which bits are better than others. And I think that my opinion is better than theirs. And that's why I do these videos. So what I do here really is I just go through the same bracket that they did, and I make my picks, and then I do like commentary along the way, and I talk about my experience with working on it, because it was cool and it was interesting and I loved it and it was surreal. This is a hot take from me, but I think the video turned out really good. Like, I actually love Bits Bracket 3. Like, that's my favorite one so far, and it's not close. It's really good. Of course, it was not perfect. The picks were not perfect because it's a Hivemind bracket. Do not expect me to say that it was perfectly made, because it wasn't. But like, I think actually being in it this time and getting to do more behind the scenes stuff gave me like a newfound appreciation for it. And I feel like since I have that deeper understanding of it, it makes me like the final product more. I just got out of the premiere. Like, the premiere just finished like half hour ago or something. I'm just over the moon right now. I'm so happy. Before we actually get into this video, I need to do something for you, because I know, okay, I know I didn't do a one-liners video. I was so busy this semester, okay? I'm a student, I'm in school, I'm a senior now. I can't, I couldn't. I tried and I couldn't. I will make up for it right now, right here, because I am a woman of the people. Okay, calm down. Okay, no, listen, okay, calm down. Okay, well, okay, I'm flattered, but seriously. No, okay, like, I will do it, okay? I'm not gonna go like dissect it like I usually do with these whole things. I'm just gonna like quick get through it, and then we'll be good. Can we do that? Awesome. The one-liners bracket is interesting, and what makes it interesting is the fact that this was actually my first paid job with Hivemind. I'm fine with being transparent about that. So this kind of felt like a warm-up to working on Bits Bracket 3 to me, because like it was the same job of like compiling timestamps and putting it together, and I didn't actually do the seeding on the one-liners bracket, but I was still more involved in the process than I think I usually was beforehand. Another thing that made the one-liners bracket interesting was that I didn't work on this one alone. I worked on it with Reese. Reese is coming back. Reese is like a part of my lore now. If you know me, you need to know Reese. If you know Reese, I hope you know me. No, Reese is great. I actually met Reese in October, like in person. Like, we hung out, and it was amazing, and I loved it, and I miss him every single day. He was great. So Reese and I worked on this together, and as we were working on it, a really dumb question came up. When we were asking it to ourselves, we were like, oh my god, we have to be idiots. Like, this seems like such an obvious question, but like, there's like a clicking in the background. I don't know what it is. It's been here the entire time that I've lived here. But the question that kind of came up for us was, what is a one-liner? I know that's a dumb question, but there are some one-liners that are in this bracket that aren't bars, because originally we were thinking like, okay, we're just looking for bars, right? But like, lunch was bad today, it's not like a bar. It's not a bar. It's just a one-line long joke. But there were other like one-line long jokes that were in the bracket too. Like, I think spoiled milk is in here too, right? Isn't it? Yeah, that's not like, it's not, no, it is a bar. I don't know. You see where like the confusion comes in, because it's like, what counts as a one-liner? And specifically, what's the cutoff between like a one-liner and a bit? That was extremely hard to figure out. We had like a huge compiled list of stuff that we were thinking like, this might be a one-liner. You decide. And it's kind of interesting like how they decided to pick. I think like the fact that we had like a big compiled list and they kind of chose from there, that kind of helped define what a one-liner is. Anyway, the one-liners bracket went pretty well. It was really fun to work on. I think like, since I don't really want to dissect this fully because that'll take too much time and I'm not making a separate video for it, I think I'm just going to show you like the whole thing, and then I'm going to show you the top pick that I had, and then I'm going to show you the worst snub, because we need to talk about the worst snub. Oh my god. Anyway, here's my one-liners bracket. Do you like it? Did I do a good job? I honestly did the one-liners bracket. Okay, no. I did it myself. Obviously, I did it by myself while I was home sick with COVID. Looking at it now, some of these picks are fucked. Like, this is not a good bracket, I don't think. And part of me wants to redo it, but I also know, I remember in the moment knowing that it was fucked up. And I was like, even if I do this, like, when I'm good again, it's not gonna be good. And I'm looking at some of these picks again now, it's like, I don't get it. I don't think I can make it better, but I don't think it's good. Every time I drop a video, I'm so confident that my picks are like amazing and like I cooked. And then all the comments are like, how on earth did you do it worse than them? I don't know. This is gonna be another instance of that where people are gonna see this bracket and they're gonna be like, what the fuck did you do? Who let her cook? Sorry. The winning bit, like, I think that's okay. I think like, okay, I remember I was in the premiere for Arkansas Little Rock. I was, and I loved that bit when I saw it. This might be like your peak. It might be, besides like the peaks that like couldn't be featured in that video. I know there were some bits that didn't make it into the bracket that people were mad about, like Kimbra got yay and the Bob Dylan vapes now, that bit. And that's just because they were in bits bracket 1. They can't be featured again, sorry. So that's why they weren't in there, but I don't know, in terms of like what is on this bracket, I genuinely think Arkansas Little Rock is Riley's best one-liner. I think it is. And I really wanted a Graydon one-liner to make it to the final 2 because I think he's a little underrepresented in this bracket, but I also tried my fucking hardest to give him fair representation. This is what we're working with, and this is what I got. I have it pulled up right now so I can like really take it in. I think it's good, and I think I can handle it. There are some where I'm looking at it like, oh, why did I do any of this? Why did I let anything move as far as it did? But that's just the nature of these brackets, and that's what it's like to work on these brackets, and that's what it's like to do these brackets. And I don't think people get that, because I've had a conversation with people about this, and I think I've talked to Hivemind about this too. It's so easy to shit talk when they're doing it, because it feels like every decision is on a whim, and then you do it and you realize that every decision like actually is on a whim. You have to make these picks based on the reasoning they're able to come up with in the moment, which is really weird. You can probably tell I'm not extremely well spoken when I'm not doing it over text. So any reasoning that I come up with is kind of random and I just have to run with it. Even on like the videos that I've posted, I've looked at some of those picks and I'd be like, damn, Like, I think I had Graydon speaks Latin to LeBron. I think I first rounded that. Bad choice. That bit is amazing. And Cookie Crisp, yeah, I think I let that go forward. That didn't need to go forward. That was bad. That was a bad pick. Sorry. But we all make mistakes, you know, and I'm sure that like Hivemind looks back at their brackets and they're like, man, some of these picks were really bad. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're cool with it, which like that's probably worse. I think it's bad if they're okay. Hold on a second. Anyway, we have to talk about the biggest snub of this bracket. If we want to talk about like worst Hivemind decisions in any bracket ever, like we need to start here. The Type to Beat the King versus British 9/11. In what goddamn universe is British 9/11 better than the Type to Beat the King? Apparently this one. What? I love to talk shit online, but then when I go and like see the guys in person and everything, I am like I'm not right. I kind of like keep to myself a little bit more. I would like to think I'm a little quieter in person. I had to complain about this in person. I had to talk about how this was a rough pick because this was a bad pick. British 9/11, that might be my least favorite one on this bracket. It might be, honestly. It's nothing. It's switching numbers. That's it's all that it is. You've heard my reasoning before of like the way that I know that something is a little less funny is if I know that I can come up with it. But I wouldn't even come up with this because it's just like it's like it isn't anything. It is not it's nothing. It's not a joke. I don't know. But the Type to Beat the King, the delivery on it is amazing. I think just like it's so simple but so effective, you know? And that's something that Riley actually talked about when I was telling him about this. He was like, you know, I just feel like it's too simple and it's too like easy and low hanging. It's like I understand that reasoning, but why can that not be applied to British 9/11, which is objectively worse? I don't know. That's my reasoning with it. I feel like the Type to Beat the King absolutely need to go forward. How far did I let it go in my bracket? I think it made it to like final 8. It made it to final 4. Maybe I took it a little bit too far, but they did not take it far enough. It's staying. I'm keeping it how it is. I seriously think the Type to Beat the King was like the craziest snub in Hivemind history. Like, I was losing my goddamn mind when I saw that. I was like, I cannot believe you're doing this to me right now. I put together this lovely bracket for you and you repay me with this. Overall, one-liners bracket, pretty good experience. It was fun. When I was reached out to work on it originally, I was like, I don't think this video needs to exist. Honestly, like, this video doesn't seem like one that people would care about. And I don't really know where it stands in the public consciousness right now because people don't really talk about the one-liners bracket. I don't know, it's like the weird cousin of the bits brackets, but I understand why it exists, and I'm happy now that it exists. Since I've like worked on it, I've gotten to like understand that differentiation between what a bit and a one-liner is, because there are some like really good one-liners in here that just aren't good enough to be their own bit in a bit bracket. I think bits brackets are more of like my calling, if you want to say that, because like, I don't know, the one-liners, as good as they are usually, they just don't connect with me in the same way that bits do. Like, it's rare for me to have a one-liner clinking around in my brain like months after the premiere, but some bits I will think about just forever. I Post Whatever I Want is a compilation channel on YouTube who is amazing. When Reese and I were working on the one-liners bracket, he had 2 videos up on his channel being like videos that were just one-liners. So we were like, oh, maybe they have a couple timestamps set aside. So I reached out and I was like, hey, we're doing a one-liners bracket. I was wondering if you had any one-liners you'd be willing to share. He sent us an 11-page document of one-liners, timestamps and everything. They were sorted chronologically by video release date. Reese and I, like, we saw it and we were like, dude, they hired the wrong people. They hired the wrong people to do this job. Oh my God, we're the worst. We shouldn't be doing this. Are you serious? 11 pages. And it helped us immensely. I have nothing but love and appreciation for I Post Whatever I Want. The absolute GOAT. And we're actually like in-person friends. It's weird to say IRL friends out loud, but that's what we are now. We're hanging out more in person, which is crazy because we live in the same city. I can't believe it. Do we want to get into like the meat and potatoes now? Like, I know what you're here for. You're not here for the fucking one-liners bracket. A tendency that I have in these videos is to accidentally throw a lot of strays at Hivemind. Like, I always end up accidentally saying a bunch of mean things that I usually don't really mean. When I was like writing down what I wanted to put in this video and like what I wanted to mention, I was thinking about making a joke of like, I don't even want Hivemind to watch this one because I can safely guarantee that they're going to see it. And I don't want to like accidentally say mean shit about them again, which I'm going to do. Like, it happens every time. Because it's like, I don't want to hurt them like that. I was gonna make a joke about how I don't want Hivemind to see this video, but then I was like generalizing it in my head to the extent of like, I don't want any men to watch this video, like a no boys allowed kind of thing. And so because of that, I started checking my YouTube analytics. You see it, right? Dude, I wish I edited that. I do. Oh my God, that's awful. We need to talk about it real quick. Like, okay, if I were a man uploading this, that wouldn't make it okay. This isn't right. Like, okay, I'm putting it back on the screen. Did I take it off the screen? I'm putting it back on the screen. Look at it, 100% male. Where are the girlies at? Why aren't they watching my videos? Are they watching this video? Please. Well, okay, I don't want to say like, oh my God, women sound off in the comment. Like, no, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to be the kind of person who tells women to sound off in the comments. Are you serious? 100%. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna move past it now, but like, we just had to talk about that for a second, because what the fuck? Before getting into these matchups, I kind of want to give a little bit of insight into like the tail end process of what I was there for, and like kind of talk about how that worked, because just this first matchup reminded me of that. So I originally made a list of like 100 bits for this bracket. I went like really crazy. I found too many goddamn bits. And so I narrowed it down to 64. The other like 40 that I found, those will be used. They will be in bits bracket 4. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I got it down to 64, and then I actually went to the office, and Grant and I went and seeded the bits. Like, we put them into like 1 through 16 seeds, which is really interesting because before bits bracket 2, I did not know that they were actually put into seeds, because like, it's just bits, you know? It felt like something that you could kind of just randomly throw together. but the production of these videos is like way tighter than it seems. Like the bits do have seeds, and there are bits that are like decidedly better than others, which makes it more interesting when the video actually goes down and you see like which seeds get knocked out early. And that was something that Grant and I kind of talked about a little bit, because he was telling me like, you know, the production needs to be really tight because that's the only way that like when it falls apart at the last step, it doesn't like ruin the video, you know what I mean? I don't know, that's just so interesting to me. I'm glad that I was told about that, and that's something I want to like share with you because I think it puts the videos in a bit of a new perspective. The seeding for these bits, that was like the very last thing that I did involving this bracket. It was just like me and Grant in the office just like knocking these out for a couple hours, and it was cool. It was a good experience because it was mostly just like us watching back the bits and like laughing hysterically. It was a good time and I enjoyed it. That's kind of like the like backstory I guess I wanted to give. I'm sure I'm gonna give more insight later just like as I notice it, but I just wanted to talk about it before this first matchup. Himelish Gambino and packaging genres. Himelish Gambino is like a pretty big bit, I feel like I think this bit is one that people talk about quite a lot, and I see why. It's a pretty simple concept, but it's executed so well, and that's honestly what makes a lot of these bits as good as they are. It's just a simple concept that gets executed and like brought to the next level. I think Riley worded it really well in the video when he mentioned how like Childish Gambino is probably the best name you could have picked for like a celebrity, where you just insert the word him and it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like that was really good, and I think that worked out well for the bit, and that's why I like that bit so much. I don't know, it's one of those bits where I feel like I don't have to dissect it that hard because it just makes sense. But anyway, packaging genres. This was a 16 seed that was thrown in at the very last second. Like I didn't have packaging genres in my 100 bit list or anything. We had a 16 seed that neither of us liked, like me and Grant, neither of us liked. We were about to wrap up and then Grant was like, ooh, I remember this bit, and then he described this bit. So we threw that in at the last minute, and I think it ended up working out really well because this bit is funnier than I remember it being. Honestly, it's one of my least favorites in this bracket, but it deserved a place here. I'm okay with it being here, I'm cool with that. But that being said, Himelish Gambino is a better bit and it is going forward. She iTunes When I Listen and Joe Biden reading Gen Z news. I'm gonna lose people immediately with this one. I don't like Joe Biden reading Gen Z news as much as other people do. I think people really like this bit, and I don't really like this bit. I don't hate the bit, it's a fine bit. I think my reasoning for why I don't like this bit as much as other bits is kind of the same reasoning for why other people like it so much. Because people who really like this bit, like who I've talked to about this bit, they think of it as kind of like a time capsule to like June, July 2023, whenever this came out. But to me, it just like makes it kind of dated. And I guess the good thing about the bit is that it could happen at any point. You could just insert different current events into it. But I just, it got old for me really fast. I understand if you like this bit more than I do. It's just not one that I'm really into. I'm talking about these in the reverse order, I'm sorry. But she iTunes When I Listen. Genius Annotations 2 is probably like the top 3 video on their channel easily. It's kind of crazy that this video has as many bits as it does. I am really bad at getting people into Hivemind, and I think I'm gonna continue to be bad at getting people into Hivemind, but this kind of seems like the new video that I can show, This kind of seems like the video that I can show people now to be like, this is what their channel is like, because it's so bit heavy, but also like the game is good. I know that there are gonna be a couple people watching this who are friends with me but don't care about Hivemind. If you are looking for any reason to get into them, Genius Annotations 2, that's the video for you. The bits in this video are crazy and they are non-stop. All of them are incredible. I can't believe it. It's a powerhouse of a video. She iTunes When I Listen, is it one of the better ones in the video? I think it's amazing compared to a lot of the bits on this list, but it's honestly like a middle of the road bit just for this video, which is a crazy thing to say because I absolutely love this bit. I think this bit is hilarious. I know they said like, you know, it's a pretty like standard just middle school joke of saying something crazy and then questioning the other person immediately afterwards as if they said something weird. But I like it, okay? We're already devolving back into like the whole reasoning of just like, I like this bit, but that's what it comes down to. I like that bit better and I want that bit to go forward. Next matchup, Bear Fight and Buckleberries. Bear Fight is an extremely crazy bit in my opinion. This bit works for me because it starts in one place and then just goes to a completely different place. The setup means nothing to the punchline. They start talking about, you know, the whole thing of like, would you watch like a bad person fight a bear? The whole pause, ayo, that whole section. It's crazy and I love it and it's so funny. I guess it's just like the kind of lingo that you wouldn't expect to hear in a Hivemind video. Oh. Okay, listen, you caught me. Okay, I can't use, I understand what I just said, like the whole thing of like, I think the lingo that you don't expect to hear in a Hivemind video is what makes this funny. I know that that's the perfect reasoning for why Joe Biden reading Gen Z news is a good bit, but it's not the same and I can't explain why, okay? It's just not the same. Fuck, I like Fair Fight, okay? I just like this bit. I don't want to call Buckleberries a standard bit because I don't think it is. I think it goes in a very strange direction that no other bit really has, but it's just not one that sticks in my head a lot, and I think it deserves a place on this bracket, but I don't think it needs to go very far. I think this is sort of a deep cut because I definitely forgot this bit existed until, did someone bring this up to me? No, I think I know what happened. When I was first given the doc of bits to find, they already put in like 20 bits, and Buckleberries was just one of the bits that was there, and I had to go find it based on that. I was like, what the fuck is that? I had no memory of it. And I understand why, because it just doesn't feel that memorable to me. But that's just my personal opinion. I understand if you remember it better and you find it more memorable. Like, I'm not gonna fight you for that. There are memorable parts to it. It just like didn't do that to me. So for me, it's Bear Fight. I hope that's okay. It doesn't matter if it's okay. This is my bracket and nobody likes my picks anyway. Everybody's so mean to me. No one has a harder life than me. Jesus Christ. Newborn Johnson and Blue's Clues. Both of these bits are so good. Both of these bits are insane. We have to talk about Newborn Johnson first. This is one of the most recent bits that's in this video. I was in tears when I saw this in the premiere. Like I was crying laughing because it hit me. It hit me at the exact same time that it hit Riley. It's just like dude, it's crazy that the starting off bit, the names that they were coming up with, the fact that they were able to stumble into that, I can't even believe that. Like, that is just unbelievable setup and payoff. You just had to be like 2 steps ahead to understand that, and I commend Graydon for being able to like click that together as fast as he did, because I couldn't. That I never would have thought of it like that. That was crazy. Oh my god. It was just so fucking funny. It's such a dumb bit. I don't want to call it an edgy bit because I don't know if it is. I don't know. I just found it absolutely hilarious. Anyway, Blue's Clues. Ant had to be in this video. Like, okay, those NFR videos, those are kind of certified classics, I feel like. I don't really indulge in NFR's content a whole lot. They're not really my style of music content, but I think they went kind of crazy in these Hivemind videos, especially Ant. I cannot believe the like comedic power he brought to the table, like unprompted. It was crazy. He is like a bit powerhouse and I absolutely appreciate him for that, and he had to be in this bracket. I was caught between this bit and one other bit that Ant is kind of like the lead of, so I'll probably save that for Bits Bracket 4. You don't get to know which bit, sorry. The bit, it was funnier than I remembered when I watched it in like the Bits Bracket 3 premiere, but I still like Newborn Johnson better. I feel like Blue's Clues would move forward in a lot of other matchups, but Newborn Johnson, it's rare for me to laugh that hard in a Hivemind video, and I laugh pretty often when I watch Hivemind videos. It's Newborn Johnson for me. British Mr. Beast and We Love You over here. This is another big hot take from me. I don't like British Mr. Beast as much as other people either. I think other people like this bit a lot more than I like this bit. I see the appeal, and in the premiere I was starting to warm up to it a bit more. There are some great lines in it, and I like that they're doing extremely different accents, and I like that Graydon falls out of the accent to say the flip-flop thing. I think this is a bigger hitter than it has to be. I think there are other bits that deserve the amount of love that British Mr. Beast gets more than British Mr. Beast. Did I word that well? Probably not, but that was like my 3rd time trying to word that, so we're going with that one. We Love You over here. This is another one from Genius Annotations too. I like this one quite a bit. I'm just quite a big fan of every time that Riley just puts on a voice and just takes on a whole new character. I think Riley is a very animated person, and so every time he kind of like slips into a new role like that, he's really good at just like taking on every aspect of that role. And it's something I'm gonna get into later. They mentioned in the video that it's great that he kind of fell out of that persona at the very end to kind of say like, by the way, like if you were not here, the world would be a better place. It's another one of those situations where it's a simple premise that was taken all the way to 11, so that's why it works so well. And I really like this bit, and I think it's really good, and it's in one of my favorite videos, and it's in one of your favorite videos probably, because everyone loves this video, because you cannot hate Genius Annotations too. The bits are too good. So we love you over here. It is. Is that okay? I'm kind of worried with this one because Bits Bracket 3 is getting a lot of attention right now. It's weird to be attached to something that's getting that kind of attention, even though it's not my video. Like, it sort of is my video, you know what I mean? Like, it's a video that I played a big hand in, and I get mentioned in the video. Well, that's scary. That's why I can't be a content creator, honestly, because my stomach was doing goddamn flips waiting for this video to come out, and it's not even a video that I'm in. I was looking and I saw people on Twitter saying that this is neurodivergent people's Super Bowl. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, I'm trying to please every neurodivergent person I can, but it's a big task, you know? I hope I did you justice. I hope they did you justice. They didn't do me justice. No, they did. They did. This was a great video. I can't even be mad about this video. This is hopefully a more positive video for me, even though I think I'm kind of like nailing into the bits a little hard right now. I love the lineup. I love every bit that's in this bracket. I mean, of course I love every bit that's in this bracket. I fucking chose what's in this bracket. But like, I seriously mean it. Like, there's not a single bit here that I think is undeserving of being in this bracket. Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust in Quadeca's artwork. This is a small little fun fact about the Holocaust bit. Holocaust was censored in the Google Doc. You don't need to take anything away from that. I just thought it was funny that it was, because it's just me who's seeing it, and like I was good that they didn't censor it for the video. That's gonna get received by a lot of people. I don't know what else to say about that. But Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust. What a crazy bit. In terms of bit titles, this one is kind of top tier. A friend of mine, my friend Naomi, hi Naomi, she was like painting or drawing, and while she was doing that, she was watching my Bits Bracket 2 video, and she doesn't watch Hivemind. Everything she knows about Hivemind is against her will and because of me. She was watching this video and I was like, are you enjoying it? It's such fan service that you could not possibly understand the video without like knowing Hivemind, you know? She told me, she was like, I don't really understand what's going on, but the names of the bits are really funny, so that's really adding on to it. And so if she decides to watch this one, I hope she appreciates the name of this bit. Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust. The main thing that sells this bit for me is the fact that Brad tries to kill the energy by saying, like, he was 8, by the way. But the fact that they were able to like cling on to that and say, oh, he ate. It's crazy to me that they were able to like cling on to that and just like, it felt like it worked out too perfectly in a way. The fact that like all these bits are improv, it's crazy to me, you know? It just felt so perfect, and that's just amazing, like comedic building. It's the same thing as Newborn Johnson, where you stumble into like the funniest punchline possible. So I love it for that. Quadeca's artwork is an interesting bit because this is, you know, it's a story, and it's one that people don't really talk about, which is weird to me because I love this bit. I remember being in the premiere for this one and hearing him talk about this story. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Most of the reason that I remember being in the premiere for this is because I remember making fun of him for saying laptop, which, you know, they point out in the video that he says laptop instead of laptop. Anyway, that's not important. Ever since I saw it in the premiere, it's just been like jumping around in my brain like a fucking screensaver. And I love this bit. I think about it just all the time. This doesn't matter all that much, but Quadeca's artwork is one of the bits that I named. Most of these bits are like, I gave them the name, and a lot of them are obvious, but Quadeca's artwork, I had no idea how to name it. The thing that really stuck out to me was Riley saying, my artwork, no! And that's what really like solidified like it needs to be called like Quadeca's artwork. I mentioned like it's so weird that I named these bits and they are like in the video and I was seeing them in real time like, oh my god, that's what I named the bit. Like, yeah, it is what you named the bit because you made the fucking video. Am I normal? Like, am I making sense? I probably sound absolutely insane. I'm not used to the world of content creation. This is definitely like my first dive into it. So it's weird for me and it's like scary. It's very surreal, and seeing like something that I did become content, especially content that people are like actually gonna see. What? Like, I lose my shit when I get 100 views on a video. My first video, I thought that was seriously gonna get like 50 views. people watched it. Why'd you watch it? I understand why you watched it because I'm really good at making content. But no, it's a very interesting position to be in because I was just a fan of content creators up until now, and now I'm just like working with content creators that I'm a huge fan of. It's very weird. I don't know how to process it yet. We need to move on from this. Oh wait, I didn't pick one. It's the Holocaust bit. But Quadaka's artwork is good. It is a good bit, and I'm happy that it's here. Smuggling Egyptian salamanders, indignant, are you okay? Smuggling Egyptian salamanders, this is a good bit. This is a good bit, because this is peak Dignan. This is the most Dignan bit that's ever existed, besides like the Dignan origin bit. The bit starts off in a crazy space, and then it just keeps getting crazier. The concept of smuggling Egyptian salamanders, normal Dignan shit. I cannot believe that's normal Dignan shit. But eating the eggs and knowing that they will soon hatch, that is an extremely bizarre direction to take the bit. And I'm happy that it did that, because that really set it apart from other standard Dignan crimes. Because like Dignan committing a crime at this point, it's fucking like, it's Wednesday, you know, it's nothing. This is one of those like extremely climactic, it just kept going and getting crazier as it went on. And that's a good Dignan bit. But Dignan, are you okay? I wanted to say something about Dignan, are you okay in the live chat, but I didn't know how to word it without sounding insane. And I don't know how to word it now without sounding insane. So with full knowledge that Riley is going to see this video, I need to word this in a way that doesn't sound insane. Okay, I have to shut the laptop. Look at me, okay? I am not good with eye contact. I am bad at it, and it scares me. And I don't even like to do it with just like, if I'm watching a video, I can't make eye contact with the person who's making the video. I can't do it. It's awful. It puts a lot of pressure on you to have to make eye contact with Hivemind Riley. You're Dignan. POV, you're Dignan. I feel the pressure of being Dignan when I have to make eye contact with Hivemind Riley because he has extremely intense eyes. That's the thing I had to say. Which bit did I want to go forward? I think Dignan, are you okay should go forward. The eye contact is not the only reason I like that bit, by the way. I also like the bit because, oh my God, I'm gonna be editing this and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I know what I'm talking about. Dignan, are you okay? There's no bit that's quite like it in their like catalog of bits, and I like that. I feel like smuggling Egyptian salamanders, you'll find other bits that are similar to it, but with Dignan, are you okay? There's no other bit that really supplements that same comedic need, in my opinion. They brought this up in the video. I do also like that when Dignan gets like autonomy to do whatever he wants without public perception or being like perceived at all, the first thing he does is just do a bunch of crazy shit because he doesn't think that anybody's gonna judge him for it. I like that. I like that from Dignan. Okay, so Dignan, are you okay? I want that one to go forward, and I know no one is going to agree with that decision. No one's gonna like it. No one agrees with me. Hi, I'm editing. I kind of want to expand on my reasoning because it feels incomplete, and I feel like I didn't give nearly enough credit to smuggling Egyptian salamanders, which I honestly think in retrospect is a better bit. This bit works particularly well in the context of this video since it's one with both Brad and Quad, whose contrasting personalities kind of bring a flair to the video that you're not going to find in any other video with one guest in isolation. Smuggling Egyptian salamanders is so over the top that it kind of brings everyone in the room together and supersedes all the energy between them. I just find it to be a great culmination of how crazy Dignan can be and makes it just as unique, if not more unique, than Dignan, Are You Okay? I still love Dignan, Are You Okay? I really like the fourth wall break nature of it, but it's just not as good as smuggling Egyptian salamanders. Unfortunately, I cannot change the bracket though. Sorry. This is a powerful matchup we have right here. Michael Jordan drunk driving and falling over sitting up. So about falling over sitting up, we didn't decide on a name for it until we were seeding these bits, because the name that I had written down for, what fucking name did I have written down for? I had something crazy written down for this bit. I think it was just like great. It says he's gonna beat Riley's ass, but then falls over in his chair. And then we changed it to how do you fall over sitting up? Or like whatever Riley asks. And they were like, man, that's still wordy, so it was turned into falling over sitting up, which I think that's a good name for it. But it's another like Riley fucking dies situation, you know, where like the name of the bit had to be changed, but the original bit name was pretty fucking good, in my opinion. This bit's good. I know they said it's not a bit, it's just a moment, but like it's got the comedic beats to it, and it works for me, and I like it, and made it into the bit bracket with no objections. So it's a bit to me. I don't really need to explain to you the juxtaposition of like trying to sound all threatening and saying like, oh, I'm gonna, like saying he's gonna beat Riley's ass, but then the way he falls over adds so much to it. Because I touched on this in the video, you know, the slow chair turn.
What was that?
I can't replicate it. You know what I'm trying to go for. I don't know, it's a good bit. It made me laugh really hard. And I think we deserve bracket representation bits. Does that make sense? Do I know what I'm saying? This bit is from the one-liners bracket. It was in the one-liners bracket, it's not one of the one-liners. I'm glad that it made it in here. And there were some bits that were in this video, like bits bracket 3, that I think would be good for bits bracket 4. I like that they roll over like that. That's fun, I like it. Michael Jordan drunk driving, yeah, no, this bit's fucking good. But Grant and I, when we watched this back, we kind of realized like it's maybe not as good as we thought it was, because this was originally like, this was a 1 seed for us, and we were like, man, this bit is fucking perfect. And we watched it back and we were like, actually there are a lot of better bits than this one. That being said though, I'm very torn between these 2 bits. I like them both a lot. I think it's Michael Jordan drunk driving. I can agree with the logic that this isn't a bit. I can handle that, and I love that falling over sitting up is in this bracket. I'm so happy it's here, but Michael Jordan drunk driving is better. I'm very comfortable with it going forward. I have no objections with that. Mitch L / Forfin's Porpoises and Riley's Real Friends. As far as like iconic Hivemind bits go, this is very much up there. It's another Genius Annotations 2-bit. Is this the best bit in that video? It might be. It might be. This bit is really good. And the fact that it's one of those bits where both sections of it have to be in there, it keeps going and it keeps going in new directions. And every time you think the bit is like about to conclude, or like they're about to hit you with the big punchline, they do hit you with a big punchline, but then it keeps going to an even bigger punchline. I don't know. This is one of those bits where you're laughing the whole way through, and I love it. Riley's Real Friends. When this bit starts, you think that most of the comedy is going to be just in the names that Riley can come up with. Like, Jean Jacket Jeremy is great. And like my personal favorite, wait, can I say it? Denim Dennis Dickerson. That's amazing. That is an amazing name. I absolutely burst out laughing the first time I saw that. I was losing it. Denim Dennis Dickerson. Incredible. But I think what really solidifies this bit as being as good as it is the fact that Riley was able to rope Grant into it, and the fact that Grant was just like in on it the whole time. Love that. I think that really, you know, solidifies it as real lore. And I love a lore bit. That's why that bit really works for me. But that being said, like it's not topping Mitch L and Forfin's Porpoises. Are you kidding me? What a good bit. That one has to go forward. It does. Rolling Loud North Pole and Jama. This is gonna be like the 3rd instance of this. There's probably gonna be a lot of instances of this. I think people like Rolling Loud North Pole more than I do. It's just like, it's fine. It's a fine bit to me. I like it, but I don't love it. Like, does it deserve to be in this bracket? Yes, because I know that people like this bit, and I know that there's a lot to like say about this bit, but like personally, like I don't have a lot to say about this bit. It's just fine to me, you know? It's another one of those bits where it keeps growing and it keeps getting more intense. It's another Smuggling Egyptian Salamanders to me, where like, I don't know, there's other bits that kind of like fill that void for me, so I'm not like, I don't care as much. But Jama's kind of a deep cut that people never talk about, but I absolutely love. It's a silly visual gag. I feel like the community doesn't really talk about the visual gags enough. I'll talk more about Riley's editing later. I'm a big fan of like the silly little visual gags that do make it into the videos. That little visual gag kind of sets it apart from other bits in my opinion, but it's also not like the carrying thing of it for me. Like, I don't like it just because it's a visual gag. Even if they didn't have like the whole, like the thing on top saying Jama, I would be okay with that. The fact that they're able to call back to it later in the video, I love a good callback, and you don't really get to see that in the bits bracket because of course they only show you the relevant parts. But this is another instance where I feel like it's good to know the original video of where the bit came from, because I feel like a lot of these bits work better in the context of watching the actual video, and that's how I prefer to see them. This is kind of a confession. I know that people aren't really going to be expecting this out of me, but I have never rewatched a bits bracket ever. I might rewatch Bits Bracket 3 eventually because I like it. That is my favorite one so far. But yeah, Bits Bracket 1 and 2, I've only ever seen them once, and I saw them when they came out. I just haven't watched them again. I know that these Bits Brackets are comfort content to people. And listen, I'm familiar with comfort content, okay? I have a lot of comfort content. I don't know, it's so weird that something that I had a hand in is something that people like fall asleep to. You know, I don't really know how to process it because again, I'm not a content creator. It's so weird to me. It's not weird though. I don't think you're weird for liking the bits brackets, okay? I absolutely fuck with you fucking with the bits brackets. I'm so happy that you like them. It's just hard for me to process as somebody who like did stuff for it, you know? It's surreal and I am honored. I'm happy that something that I helped make is comfort content to you. That's so nice. Where was I going with this? So even though it's not an extremely exciting bit, and I think people don't care about it as much as I do, I think it's Jama. I know this is gonna be an upset. This is gonna be a crazy upset. No one cares about Jama but me. But I love the little visual gags. I wanted Digden's fur trading bonanza to make it into this video just because of the visual gag. I'll put it right here. I love it. It's so funny. It's small and it's only up on screen for like 2 seconds, but I love it. Read between the lines and getting jumped by 8.3 million people. Read between the lines kind of feels a little fresh to me. It feels so classic. This is like a quintessential Hivemind bit in my opinion. I like how it's done and I also really like the video that it's in. One Hit Wonders, the first One Hit Wonders on the main channel. Ooh. That's a good video. That's a very good video. I mentioned this earlier. I think I just have a bias every time that Riley gets to do something more animated. I really like when he gets to do that. You can't even comprehend the power that Riley has when he gets to be silly. I'll talk about this more when we get to like another Brad bit because I think this is exemplified when Brad is there. Getting jumped by 8.3 million people. The main thing that makes this bit stick in my mind so hard is
I should cross the street.
crazy line to say about this bit. It's insane. They paint such a vibrant picture in your head of like you're walking down the street and you're peering into the distance and you see 8.3 million people. It's just such a funny mental image. And just the fact that they kept like feeding into that image that they painted for you, capping it off with I should cross the street, that is so funny. Oh my god. It's such a small motion that obviously doesn't fucking mean anything and I love it. So between these bits, listen, you're not gonna like me. You're gonna be mad at me and you're gonna think I'm insane and you're not gonna like me anymore. But it's getting jumped by 8.3 million people. It is. It's getting jumped by 8.3 million people. No, it's read between the lines. I'm sorry. Okay, it's read between the lines. Okay, you convinced me. Okay, are you happy? You convinced me. You can calm down now. You can erase your comment. Okay, we're good. Word and Graydon didn't know he was on YouTube. I think this one's pretty cut and dry in my opinion. Like Word is great. I remember people talking about Word a lot when it came out and I didn't really get the hype. But I watched it back when I was making this video after not seeing it for a while and I was like, oh, actually, no, I get it. This is funny. This is pretty good. It's so simple and I feel like if the delivery were just a little bit different, it wouldn't be as memorable or good, but the delivery is perfect on this bit and I love it for that. They talked about like Word attaching to this bigger bit that like, honestly, I didn't care a whole lot about. But I think just like condensing it down to this whole section of just Word, I like it. But Word was not a top 2 bit. Like, it's good. It's not top 2 though. Like, this is another Tiny Phone. Tiny Phone is good, but Tiny Phone didn't need to be top 2. It didn't. It's not as bad as a cat shit, but it's not a top 2. And that's just as simple as it is. But it is better than Graydon didn't know he was on YouTube. I do like Graydon didn't know he was on YouTube. I think Graydon has a really good understanding of like the role of being airheaded, as mean as that might sound. Because I don't mean that to say that he is. I don't think he is. I just think like he's good at getting into that role. I think they're both good at getting into that role. I do like seeing them in that position. And, you know, like Riley being the straight man in that situation, that's pretty standard, but like it works and I do like it, but Word is better. Real Hibachi and Cranial the Grape Street Crib. Real Hibachi is pretty good. That's a good bit. And it's in 1/16 second, which is a video that I like. I like that video quite a lot. That's one of my favorite quad collabs. I think there are a lot of bits in that video. I think we kind of scrapped that video for bits for the last bits bracket, if I remember correctly. This one kind of slipped between the cracks and I don't know how, because like this bit's really good. This bit does have a good place in my heart and I can't believe I completely forgot about it. I like this bit a lot and I'm really happy that it's here. But Cranial the Grape Street Crib, the name Cranial is crazy. And thinking that the original name was Braniel is crazier. Because it could have been Daniel. The crip walk that Riley does in his chair, I love it because you can picture the scene that they paint. Whatever family member saying like, hey, teach me how to do that. I don't know. It's one of those, it's the same thing as getting jumped by 8.3 million people where it just paints such a vivid picture and it's so funny. I think it's gonna be Cranial the Grape Street Crip. That's also just an incredible bit name. Whole Bowl and Obama's drone strikes. Oh my God. I mentioned this in the video, but like there's such a bravado to sing whole bowl. Like I can't do it the same, mostly because like it's late and I don't want to wake up the people living around me. I'm glad the bit showed up in all caps. Like that's such a small thing, but like there's a power to it that I want exemplified in the name of the bit. I need it translated to that. Whole bowl is good. Whole bowl is a good bit. People are torn specifically on the mouse sex. I'll tell you what, the squeaking, moaning sound effects, excellently done, horrifying to hear. I had to watch this bit a few times. Every single time. I hate those sounds. I hate them. But they needed to be there, so I get it, okay? I'm happy they're there, I just don't want to see it again. But as for like the first part of the bit, it paints another vivid picture in your mind. You see that picture of carrying an entire full bowl of mice. I don't know. This bit is dumb and I love it. Obama drone strikes. Does this fulfill the same comedic need for me as Pikachu? Mostly yes. I do like Graydon's Obama impression. It came out of nowhere and it came in full force, and it's weird and I like it. I like that they keep the same cadence through every single line that they say, even though Obama in real life does not do that.
You know what? I'll give it a shot. Holy shit, what a rush.
No, I think it's pretty good, but it's like, it's standard to me. Whole bowl is special. Whole bowl is a special little bit and I wanted to go forward. Cold Shoulders and the Bibilic Days. This is a crazy matchup. Cold Shoulders. This is an Eden bit. She's such a good guest on this channel. I pray for the day that we're gonna see her on the channel again because she just elevates it so much. Her chemistry with both Graydon and Riley is incredible. I feel like she just fits in so perfectly. There's no other guest that really fits in that mold as well as Eden does. And that's why I really like her as a guest. And I know that like everybody else loves Eden. I think this is the peak of Eden and Graydon just fucking around and just fucking with Riley, which I love to see. The fact that Riley got his one-liner wrong and they just immediately go into making fun of it for it. And I like that it gets a callback later, which we'll see later in the bit bracket. The Bibilic Days, we will talk about the Bibilic Days. I found this bit when I was looking for one-liners. Back when I was doing the one-liners bracket, I found this bit, or like maybe Reese found this bit and sent it to me, but I feel like I found this bit. And I was crying. I was laughing so fucking hard. I think it's better in the context of the video because like when I watched it in the Bits Bracket 3 premiere, it like didn't hit as hard, but in the context of the video.
Now, you're on a cruise ship with Noah, if you know. There's 2 spiders on you. I don't know. What?
Oh my god. That line is nonsense and I fucking love it. It's so good. That's like one of my favorite impressions I've ever heard and I don't even know who it's an impression of. Like the Jeff, the fact that Riley is trying in the middle of asking Graydon, like, is that like a Jeff Foxworthy thing? And it zooms in on him just like fully taking on that role and just like looking crazy. Oh my god. I love Cold Shoulders, but it's the Bibilic Days. It is. Adele is Jamaican Me British and Riley has a graphic design degree. There's a clear winner here, but we'll still talk about it, okay? Adele is Jamaican Me British. Genius Annotations too! What a good video, man. This is like another top tier bit from that video, which is already crazy to say because every bit from that video is top tier. I was saying earlier, like, you know, I think Graydon is really good at putting on like an airhead persona. I think he does it really well in instances like this because you have to be smart to be stupid, I think. Am I making sense? It's such an interesting spin on the classic, like, you know, it's Jamaican. I don't even know what the original saying is anymore. This bit has like completely poisoned my brain. It takes a spin on a pre-existing saying and just making it nonsense. And there's something brilliant about that, and I love it. Riley has a graphic design degree. If you remember You Know My Motto from Bits Bracket 2, I think this is a better version of that. It's another thing where like they show multiple takes of one prompt going in a bunch of different directions, which I like. I think it's a good kind of like running joke that they have because I think there's another bit that follows that formula, but I can't remember. It might just be another thing of Riley has a graphic design degree. You know, this is a good bit, but like Adele is Jamaican Me British. Come the fuck on. It's that bit. That bit has to go forward. The 9/11 challenge and Graydon wants to see Jay-Z's penis. People are always asking, where were you when 9/11 happened? But I want to ask, where were you when the 9/11 challenge happened? This is history. This is kind of the Hivemind bit right now. When people talk about like iconic Hivemind bits, the 9/11 challenge is going to be one of the first in the conversation. I don't need to explain to you why this bit is good. You know that this bit is good. If I were to make this bracket and the 9/11 challenge weren't here, oh my god, my social media would be fucked for the rest of my life. I would have to log out of everything and like throw my phone in the ocean because people would be so goddamn mad. You know that this bit is good. I don't need to tell you that. It speaks for itself. It's such a good bit. And I know there was a part 2. The part 2 happened after I stopped working on it. It's probably gonna go forward. Like, it is going to go forward. But we can still talk about Graydon wants to see Jaycee's penis. There's really not a lot to say about that bit. It's a good bit. I do like when Graydon's on some weird shit like that. It's weird to say that I can't see Dignan doing this bit. It is. That doesn't even make sense what I'm saying. Anyway, the 9/11 challenge is better. The top stops and slapstick thirst traps. The top stops is good. It's another Eden bit. Opening up the bit with
There's something sexy about when he's younger than his daughter.
that is it's a strong opening, we'll say that. And I think Eden's reaction to it is amazing. I love it.
Next.
Nothing but good things to say about Eden. But of course it does peak with Grant and I got into this conversation we were seating. We were categorizing bits in relation to other bits. And I know that I've been doing that in this video where, like, you know, I'm talking about how Riley has a graphic design degree is like the same thing as, you know, my motto. It can be categorized like that because it's sort of the same setup, but it's like, it's different and it does stand on its own and it is a different joke. I'm not saying that these are the same joke, it's different jokes. But we were trying to categorize these and be like, what is an I'm sorry M? You know? Because first bits bracket, you know how I feel about I'm sorry M. I love that bit. And I hope you love that bit too. I think most people love that bit. But we're looking for a big one of like, what is the big loud short bit that is just what is an I'm sorry M? We were thinking, is the top stops our I'm sorry M? But like, I don't know if it is. I feel like it's different. I don't like it as much as I'm sorry M, and I don't like it as much as a lot of other bits on this bracket, but I know that people like this bit. But also their opinions don't matter, only mine does. So I don't know. Slapstick thirst traps, this is a long bit, but this bit's also really good because this bit had the potential to get tiring very fast, especially with how long it is, because it really is just kind of like naming the same thing sort of over and over again, but the tropes that are pulled are really interesting and I like the juxtaposition that it gives, and I think it does help build the bit a lot more. The piano keys, that's an amazing like way to take it. It's very silly, it's a very silly bit and I love it, and I think Graydon did an amazing job at this bit. So good. I love this bit. So I think it's slapstick thirst traps. I think it is. It's a weird bit. It's a weird concept and it was done very well. A very well executed bit. Scrunch fuckers at Fuddruckers and home run celebration. Home run celebration winning this bracket. No. It's not the best bit in this. It's not the best bit in this bracket. Come on. I'll talk about home run celebration in a second. We need to focus on scrunch. We need to focus on the first one that I can't say. This is a good bit. I like it. It's dumb. It's a dumb bit and it's so funny. The delivery is great. I think this bit really exemplifies the differences between Riley and Graydon's comedic styles. You know, people are starting to do their whole thing of like, every Hivemind video looks like this, and then it's just like Riley saying a bar and Graydon making a cum joke. But I think it's different from that. I think they're a little more similar than that in a lot of different ways. But I think that this really solidifies the differences between them without going to those like stereotypes, if you want to call it. This all sounds insane. Everything I'm saying sounds insane. I'm neck deep in this. This is a bit that like Riley couldn't do. I'm not saying that against him. I'm just saying like it's a bit like if he did it, it wouldn't be the same and it wouldn't have the same comedic timing to it. Like this is an extremely Graydon bit and I like it for that. It's a good bit. And I love the delivery of it. Moving on to home run celebration. This is another good, is this Dignan? It's Dignan. Does it fucking matter? Can I break the barriers and say that I don't give a shit if it's Graydon? Can I say that? Are people gonna be mad if I get the wrong guy? Are people in the comments gonna be like, actually it's fucking Dignan? I don't care. I don't care. Okay, they look the same. I think home run celebration is a good bit. However, like this is a crazy take to have and I don't even know how to like word it properly. I think they did the bit better when they were doing an impression of it in this video. Graydon throwing in the profanity of being like, please don't fucking let me die. Like I think that was a little element of it that was kind of missing from the original bit. Is that a crazy thing to say? Because I think it is. I think I might be saying some crazy shit right now. But I think I've probably been saying crazy shit this whole video. I'll let the comments decide that. Let me know in the comments down below if I've been saying crazy shit this whole time. I don't want the winning bit to be first rounded. But scrunch fuckers, is it better? I will let home run celebration take it this time, but just as a courtesy, it didn't need to win this bracket. I mean it. However, I will say I'm not that mad at it being the winner, but I think most of the fact of it me not be, I think most of the reason that I'm not mad at it winning is just because like I'm so happy with how the video turned out. I'm getting sappy again, but I'm gonna retain it. I'm gonna hold it in. I'm not mad about this one winning, but I probably should be. I don't like that this one won, but I can handle it. But not for my bracket. No siree. Fuck am I saying anymore? Schroker and turning hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese. Schroker is great. Schroker is crazy. Schroker is a bit that could not happen in a normal Hivemind video, and that's why it's good that we get those weird one-off videos from them every now and then. The fact that Graydon keeps falling further into this hole, he keeps spiraling downwards as Schroker, ending with him laying down outside by a trash can. Amazing. So funny. I think Graydon is really good at playing it serious in a silly situation, and I love the bits where he does that. He's like really, really good at it, and I want to see more bits of that nature from him. Schroker is a good example of that, of course, but then you're also going to see that with like the Diggy Show is a good example. He's like absolutely heartbroken at the idea of Riley having to be taken to the hospital for no reason.
Figure it out. You want me to go to the hospital mid-video because my stomach's rumbling?
I'd rather you do that than die on us unexpectedly. Just be me on YouTube. Hi, it's Dignan. You're watching The Diggy Show, and we don't care no more.
There's a lot of different instances that I cannot think of right now, unfortunately, where it's an absolutely hilarious situation, but Graydon is just like suddenly so sad. And I think he's so good at that. I love those bits, and I think that's like really where he shines. I don't know how to explain it. This is such a weird niche explanation, but like I mean it, he's good at it. Turning a hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese, I love this bit, and this bit is so good. This was cut from Biz Bracket 2, like at the very last minute, which I'm so mad about because I think this bit is so funny. It's just such a silly concept that they turn on its head. It's in the same line for me as Gary V. Monkey Furnace in a way, where it's just kind of making fun of like weird shit that celebrities do. I like it. And I actually have no idea which one I want to go forward. I'm like, I don't know, I've been sitting on this for a minute and I actually have no idea. I have an idea. I think I have an idea for how I can pick this. And I think I might need to call in a friend. Hold on a second. It's gonna be like noticeably lower quality now because I gotta record on my laptop. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Okay, so I am caught between two bits right now, and I want your input because you kind of are like the crown god of Hivemind bits, I feel like.
All right.
Okay, so I'm still in the first round right now, and I am like absolutely caught between Schroker and turning a hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese.
Schroker and turning a hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, so my reasoning for both is like Schroker is one of those bits that can't really happen in any other, like it can't happen in a normal Hivemind video, and it's one of those bits that I think works really well in like the interview videos that they do, which obviously don't really come around that often, especially now. But turning a hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese, it's a bit that I really needed in this bracket because I've been waiting for it to be in a bracket since like forever ago. And I think it's executed really well and it's based off of a really stupid premise. So I kind of want your opinion on it.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. Schroker is like, you know, it's like a whole video. It's a very funny bit or whatever, but what is it, turn the ICU into a ball pit?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good matchup. I'm trying to think. I'm going to go with turning a hospital to Chuck E. Cheese.
Hell yeah. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much. You're the best, Chade. Cool.
Of course.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people before I let you go?
Yes. Rotating cast of 15 characters got fucking snubbed at the last minute in the bits bracket.
Yep.
I fought hard to get that bit included, and I'm glad it got included, but they sold last minute.
They did.
I'm gonna die mad about it.
I agree. I completely agree. Cool. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Of course, anytime. You too.
See ya. That was Chade. We fucking got Chade on the channel, dude. I have a candle here. This is like my source of light. I need to end this fucking video. See ya. It's gonna be pretty hard to argue with that, I feel like. I really appreciate Chade. He hasn't been in any of these bits brackets yet, and I don't think he's going to be. I can't really dissect it, but you know what I'm trying to say, I think. I still want to talk about it, even though I don't think it's gonna make it into a bracket. What's really interesting about the Chade bit is I actually knew about it before anybody else did. I run an HMPCU account, sorta. I'm not very active on it, and I don't log in very often, and I don't post enough, but I have one. And way back when I first started it, Chade DM'd me out of nowhere and he was like, dude, I just got off the phone with Graydon. I was like, what? And he told me everything that was in this phone call. And I was like, this sounds so goddamn made up. But I trusted him. I don't know what, the way he worded it, I trusted Chade. He told me, he was like, I think they're filming. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, no, I mean, like, I heard both Graydon and Riley and they sounded like they were filming something. And a month later, lo and behold, they were indeed filming something. It was so crazy. After Chade DM'd me, I posted our screenshots on my HMPCU account because they actually kind of fit what my account was about at the time. It's not about that anymore. When that was posted, eventually Hivemind found it and they reposted it. And that kind of led to a weird increase of Graydon getting phone calls because his phone number was public. It is public. I'm not gonna tell you where to find it, but you can find it somewhere. He got a weird influx of calls for a while and I felt so bad about it, but it was actually like a very funny time for the lore. So anyway, you know, Chade is the greatest. He's been great. I feel like he deserved better, but such is life, you know? Turning hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese goes forward. A world where girls can't sing and baby recipes. These are two good bits. A world where girls can't sing. That's from the, what's that from? It's from a new video, can't remember. I think the fact that it just goes off the rails as fast as it does, it's well done and it's a good bit. I would call it a standard bit probably. Baby recipes is not standard. That's not a normal bit. Nope, no it isn't. And I think this is another good bit where Brad is the straight man. I will get to the bit where Brad is the best straight man, I swear. By the way, I mentioned Brad being a good straight man in the live chat of the premiere, and people thought I was saying straight man is in like heterosexual male. No, straight man is a role. I'm not gonna explain it because I thought you would like know. No, I'm not like ranking Hivemind guests based on like which heterosexual guest I think is the best. That's not what's happening. I'm not praising Hivemind Riley for being good at being heterosexual. Brad is good in this bit. I like Brad in this bit, and I think you guys should like Brad more. That's my hot take. I've been spending more time in Brad's streams and I like him quite a lot and it's really fun to be there and the vibes are different, but I think I kind of have a one-track mind when it comes to live streams because like my big thing with Hivemind is actually like their live streams. If you know me from the bits brackets, it's weird in my opinion because like I'm the stream person and that's how I've always seen it. I was so hesitant to join Brad's streams because I felt like the community was going to be too different and I felt like the vibes were going to be too different. I felt like it was going to hold like an air of negativity that I can't really handle. And while I guess they're not as nice as Hivemind streams, like I still like them and I'm still happy that I get to hang out in them, and I'm glad that Brad respects me as a mod even though he still always fucking jokes at me of like being the Hivemind person. My favorite thing is when he will My favorite thing is when he will stop a song in the middle of it and be like, Kate, what do you think of this? What do you think Riley and Graydon would think of this? Like, I don't know. I'm not them. Brad is great and Tina is great. I love Tina and I love Brad. I'm glad that I've gotten to like get to know them better because they're cool. Baby recipes is better and I want it to go forward. Dignan is in love with Big Sean, an extensive Stetson collection. Dignan is in love with Big Sean is a pretty big hitter bit. I think the Dignan Big Sean lore is pretty extensive. There was another bit that involves Big Sean and Dignan that I had on the list but didn't include because it's just not as good of a bit, and like we have this bit here, so that's enough. I think Dignan is in love with Big Sean, like it's good. I think his enthusiasm is just, it's palpable. I love it. You hear him just like spreading his love for Big Sean. You can't help but love it too. You can't help but also love Big Sean. Awesome. Extensive Stetson collection. I have a bit of a stronger connection to this bit than I think most other people do. I don't know why this bit sticks in my head so much, but I love it. I was in the premiere when this video aired and it was one of my first premieres, I think. Not one of my first, I guess, but like I had only been attending the premieres for like a month or so, like a few weeks at this point. I was a pretty new Hivemind fan when this video came out. This bit stuck with me. I just thought it was really funny. I liked that they roped Grant in because at the time Grant was like very mysterious to me. I didn't know shit about Grant. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know what I knew what he sounded like. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything. I just thought Grant was a cool, mysterious figure behind the screen who laughs. I like the bits where they rope in Grant because I feel like I always have good things to say about Grant. I always think Grant needs more appreciation. It's good when he gets it and it's good when he gets tied into a bit like that. It makes it feel more real and it makes it feel more like interactive in a way. I don't know how to explain it. What I also really liked about the extensive Stetson collection was it might have been like less than a week after this video came out was the first Hivemind live show, which I attended. For their live episode, each round was a different audio game And the way that they would decide which audio game they play was they had like a bunch of prompts in a hat, and the hat was a Stetson. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. I'm glad they did that. It was a nice carryover from the videos, and it just made it feel all the more real, you know? And it was just so surreal for me at the time, and I really appreciated that. It's just the little things, you know? I could go off about the live shows forever. I'm so excited that this tour is happening. I'm actually going to be at the Detroit and the Philadelphia shows, so if you see me, you should come say hi. You should tell me which one of my takes was the worst. A lot of people have been asking about how the live shows work because I know that I went to them. I've been to 2 of them. And I was thinking about maybe making like a video talking about what my experience was with them, because I think I had a pretty interesting experience with them. I know this sounds so dumb because I'm on my 3rd Hivemind video, but I don't want to be a Hivemind channel. You know, I think if I keep it to just these bits brackets videos, it's fine because I'm just making bits brackets videos, and like that's all I gotta do. I'm not like a content creator. But if I make a bunch of other videos that are also about Hivemind, that's weird. And I know I'm weird about Hivemind, okay? Like, you don't need to tell me. I know. I just don't want to fall into that, you know? I think I'm more than that. There's other content that I would like to create eventually. I just don't have the time or the energy. That's not to say that I'm forced into making these videos. I do like making these videos. It's different, you know? I just need to commit to making more videos if I want to do that, and it's hard. If I were to make a video talking about my live show experiences and you would want to see that, I think you should comment that, because I'd be willing to make that video. I just like need to get my shit in gear and actually do it. I just love talking about them. But if you'd rather just like not hear about it, or like if you just want to talk to me about it one-on-one, that's cool. My socials are in the description. I can talk about it. I'm cool with it. For like sentimental value alone, it's the extensive Stetson collection. That's going forward. It has to. Dignus in Love with Big Sean is a good bit. It doesn't hold that same place in my heart. Lummy DeGranky and Whistle Pig. Lummy DeGranky, I am so happy is here. What a good bit. Oh my god, that's so funny, and it's so iconic now in the community. Like they mentioned it, like everyone knows about Lummy DeGranky. Coming up with a fake Yeet song, anything you say is gonna be funny, but just something about Lummy DeGranky. It's so good. It's a perfect like parody of the shit that Yeet comes up with, but it's also just so funny on its own as a phrase. There's something that gets me about Riley looking dead on at Grant, just trying to get him to say the answer while just saying like that's not even a real song, like not even acknowledging it. I love Lummy DeGranky. Whistle Pig is a crazy bit, but it's a good bit. I do like this bit. Graydon comes up with a guy named Johnny Sins, who does exist, and then turns it into the whole thing of the Whistle Pig. The Whistle Pig impression really is the highlight of this. Can you even call it an impression, or just like creating the world of what the Whistle Pig is like is so good. But it's not Lummy DeGranky. I like Lummy DeGranky more, and it's going forward. Manifying Objects and Graydon's bully energy. Manifying Objects, what a big hitter. I cannot believe that was on Unlimited. Manifying Objects is good. That's a good bit. They explained it pretty well in the video. They were trying so hard to come up with examples, and neither of them could come up with anything good. But the fact they couldn't come up with anything good is where a lot of the comedy stems from. 24-pack of little boys, what the fuck? Looking for a remote and saying, where is she? That doesn't happen. It just makes me burst out laughing. And the exposure at the end saying like, I hate to expose you like this. It's great, and I love it. This is such a good bit. I'm pretty sure we made this a 1C bit. And like, it deserves its place. This is a great bit. Graydon's bully energy, this is a good bit. This is definitely a deep cut. I don't feel like anybody really talks about this bit. I don't mean to keep reiterating the things that they say in their video, but I like that they pointed out the fact that like the beast is teeming the entire time, and it keeps slipping into words like curious. That's amazing. Whenever they like slip into these bits like this where they either do like an impression or like they just put on a character, they always go like all the way with it, and that's what makes them so good. That's what makes these bits as good as they are. A lot of these bits could fall flat if they just like didn't commit to it, but like committing to the bit is obviously like that's what they're known for and that's what they do. But the fact that they commit to the bits as hard as they do is really just like what brings them up so high and what makes them bracket worthy. So between these two bits, like I think it is Manifying Objects, but I do like Graydon's bully energy. Mr. Witherspoon's music and West Side Gecker. West Side Gecker. West Side Gecker. Gecker is the GOAT. You already know this. Or if you don't know this, you should start knowing this. Gecker is the GOAT. That West Side Gun impression is so crazy. There's so many things I could talk about individually that I love about it, like the microwave beeping. I heard they lost the queen. Shit, I really hope they find her. I invented the question mark. If Wahlberg was pressing me, you know, I'd question mark. Crazy bars. absolutely insane. I feel like this is such a good example of good impression work. I think it's a better impression than even like sold crack to a pine tree, dare I say. I'm gonna get ripped apart for that one, but that's okay. It's one thing to put on a West Side Gun impression and just say crazy shit, but to like have a method to the madness adds so much to it. These bars are not nonsensical. They're weird, but they do connect. It's so well produced and everything about it is just, it's so well made, you know? I love this bit, and I think Gecker did an amazing job. I wanted to give Gecker some more flowers for this, especially because this bit was like the closest we got to a bit not being in the bracket. I do not mean to call out Grant. I love Grant, but it was pretty clear that Grant did not want this bit in the bracket as much as I did. And I understand, like, you know, it's not a Hivemind bit, really, but like Dev Lemon's Eminem impression made it in. Why can't Westside Gecker? It's from the same video. It's my favorite impression that I've seen in any of these Fiverr videos. I just think it was incredible, and I feel like Gecker deserved more appreciation for it than they got. That's where I sit on that. Mr. Witherspoon's music, I'm afraid to say Gecker got fucked. Like, Gecker got fucked hard, because Mr. Witherspoon's music, oh my god. Oh my god. What a good bit. Mr. Witherspoon's music is insane, because it really does just keep building. It's another bit where it's got a simple concept, but they take it all the way up and they just keep going with it and they make it crazier. And just hearing them talk about it, it really just adds a comedic tone to it. And I love it for that. This is another bit where it's like, I don't really need to tell you why it's good. It's another 9/11 challenge. Like, you know this bit is good. I personally am a huge fan of the name Tommy Flash. It's such a good bit, and it is going forward. I love you, Gecker, but Mr. Witherspoon's music is going forward. 999 cunt in Drake's shower. Reese and I debated for like probably a little too long whether 999 cunt should be in the one-liners bracket, because it is a one-line joke. But most of our reasoning behind it was like, can they say cunt on YouTube? Can they say that anymore? Like, maybe they're not allowed to say that anymore, but like, why wouldn't they be? They said it in that bit. This is the I'm sorry M, in my opinion. This is the bit where like, it's a flash and then it's done. So funny, so good. I love this bit. But Drake's shower, this is such a small bit, and it got barely cut from Bits Bracket 2. Like, it was almost in there. I think it made it to the 64, but then they like swapped it out like in filming or something. I have no idea. The delivery of
It is awesome.
in terms of like line delivery, I think that's like top 5 for me. It made me laugh so hard when I first saw it. I was losing it. It was so funny. I love Drake's shower, and I want it to go forward. Oops Found Him and Sponsored by Harry Styles. Oops Found Him was supposed to be in Bits Bracket 2, but it was one of those bits that I just could not find a timestamp for, but I knew it was real. It wasn't a garbage dog. I knew Oops Found Him was real. I just could not fucking find it. I found it eventually, so I made it into this bracket. But Oops Found Him is so funny. It's so dumb, and it's played so well. Sponsored by Harry Styles is also really good. There were actually 2 bits that were in my list that involved like a sponsorship. The other one was Sponsored by Rodents. That's the one with PM Beta in it. I think Sponsored by Rodents is a pretty good bit, but I think Sponsored by Harry Styles has everything that that bit has and more. I really like the whole reading off a teleprompter thing that Riley does. He does a good fucking job at that. That was good. That was really well done. I just think every part of this bit is so funny. Eden needs more appreciation in this bracket. There's never enough Eden appreciation in this bracket. I'm going overboard with it. I want this bit to go forward. Oh wait, do I? Oops Found Him is good. Oops Found Him is really good. It's really funny. I think it's gonna be Sponsored by Harry Styles. I think that's the one that I want to go forward. I think it is. But Oops Found Him is so good. Oops Found Him did not deserve this treatment. But Sponsored by Harry Styles wouldn't deserve this treatment either. Is this a bad guy in Bulgaria? Is this a bad guy? It's so good. This is crazy. It is so crazy. The fact that it's so obvious, and also the fact that he's making jokes are like, this looks like a little Vietnamese man, and Riley's saying, nope, you shouldn't say that with this. It's so crazy. And then capping off the end with like, how did you get the wrong Luther? Oh my god. I like it a lot when those jokes kind of get intertwined within the actual games. I think it kind of makes it feel a little less black and white, and I like that it kind of melts together like that. This bit is so funny. Bulgaria is good. I appreciate Quadeka's research. I appreciate everything that I learned about Bulgaria, and I appreciate that it did persist throughout that entire video, and I thought it was good. I do appreciate that he performed it at his shows. I love Quickly, and I love Quadeka, and I'm so sad that I could not go on this tour. Anyway, is this a bad guy is better? It's better. It made me laugh harder. I think it's funnier. I said I was gonna try to not throw any strays, but I do need to throw this stray real quick. It's pretty well known that there are a few Riley-isms that show up throughout Hivemind videos. Like, that was my second guess. Everything being Riley's second guess. There's another one. I noticed it, and as soon as I noticed it, I couldn't unnotice it. and I kind of want to like bring it to the public attention because I think it's funny. I'm sorry, but one of my favorite things is either in like Q for You or Hivemind Feud or like whatever game they're playing where Grant has to give them information. Every time that Grant gives them a prompt, Riley will repeat that prompt back to him, but just like word it in a different way that doesn't make it clear. It just says it in a different way. Like Grant will give them a prompt being like, what are the top 5 most streamed Spotify songs of 2015? And then Riley will be like, so what are the top 5 songs on Spotify that got streamed the most in the year before 2016? Like, yeah, that is the thing that Grant said. Is this anything? Am I even gonna keep this in the video? I don't know. I'm so sorry for all the mean things that I say about Hivemind Riley. I apologize. I hope you can forgive me. Riley's audition and Coach That Breaks Down Your Confidence. Riley's audition is such a good bit. For a second, I was wondering if this is even like a real bit. I thought for a minute that I like made it up. That bit in retrospect is so good. I said this a little bit earlier, but I want to expand on it a little bit more. I think Riley is such an animated person, if that makes sense. Everything he does is just so intense, but in such a good way. Like he has such a great screen presence, I feel like. In these bits where he gets to like let loose and kind of indulge in a lot of these like characters that he puts on, I think he does so well at that, and I think that's where he's at his strongest comedically. And I feel like this is like one of the best examples of that. Like this is probably like the best bit that Riley has. That's a big thing to say because I don't even know if I'm letting it get out of this first round, so I'm gonna calm the fuck down for a second. It just kept building. I do like that Graydon fed into it at the end with like getting him like the stunt double role for that nonsense part. It's long, but I'm glad that it's long. This is a bit that could go on forever and I would love it. Coach That Breaks Down Your Confidence. I like this bit quite a lot and I think it does well in its video, and I like that it keeps getting called back to throughout the video because like I think they only showed 2 instances of it, but it kept coming back throughout that video. I think it's a solid bit. I think the examples of like, Lord knows you suck at math, that's good. I like that. It's not Riley's audition though. I love Riley's audition. I need Riley's audition to go forward. I mean it with my entire chest when I say that when you let Riley go free and do whatever he wants to do, he will deliver. He will deliver an amazing bit. When it's Graydon's time to shine, he does an amazing job being the straight man and playing into it perfectly to where Graydon gets to go off and do whatever he wants. But I don't think anybody's ever really underestimating the power of a great Graydon being insane bit, because those are always a treat. Gun to your head, you gotta get a tattoo today, and do you identify with Jamie? This is kind of just more of a continuation of the conversation that I was just having. I think Brad is definitely the best straight man that's been on Hivemind, and I don't even think it's contested really. He's just so good at letting Graydon and Riley just fucking run laps around him and just absolutely wear him down. He's so good at letting them do that. And that's like what's really good about when there is a guest on the channel. It allows them to just go off and do whatever they want together, which is so good because they always end up bouncing off each other so hard and creating some incredible bits like gun to your head, you gotta get tattooed today. But what makes this bit as good as it is Brad at the very end, tying it back together, taking it home.
Tattoo again.
Tattoo the person who did it so they can get arrested.
That was an excellent thing to say. Oh my God, I loved it. That's a good bit. This is a really good bit. Do you identify with Jamie is great. This is a bit that's like very Grant centric. I know that they didn't really fuck with this bit as much as I do, I think. At least it's kind of how it felt in the video. It just kind of felt like a normal bit. I guess it is a normal bit, but I do like this bit quite a lot. When I was seeding this with Grant, he was like, I don't even know what this bit is. I was like, oh, it's the bit where you don't laugh. Which is a weird thing to say to someone. It's the bit where you don't laugh. I like that Quad kind of had some nervous energy throughout this bit. He doesn't want to touch a soft spot with Grant. No, this is a good bit, but Gun to Your Head is better. It's way better. That bit is so good. Testing the Murky Dark Waters of Comedy and Floating Rack. Testing the Murky Dark Waters of Comedy is good. It's an unhinged, insane bit that I like a bit better than the other unhinged, insane bits in this bracket, because there's more self-awareness to it and there's more of an understanding of like what I'm doing is fucked up and I have to atone for that, and I think it's good. Floating Rack is better though. Floating Rack is like, this is one of the best Eden bits, I think. Oh my God. Eden is so good at putting on like that immediate character of like, but who is she, Graydon? Tell me. That's so funny. And I love that she was able to immediately put Graydon in that space of like complete fear, having to constantly backtrack and explain like what's going on. It's so funny. It's an amazing dynamic and I love it. Floating Rack is just such a funny bit. Something I wanted to focus on more with Floating Rack is Riley's editing style. I love it. I love how Riley edits. He really doesn't let the editing get intrusive at all. And with Floating Rack, this is a more highly edited bit than other bits, you know, because it has more of like the what do you call it? Like the traveling zoom. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not subtle, but it's not over edited, because I feel like specifically with that kind of edit, it's so easy for it to go overboard, and it's so easy for that kind of editing to really bring it down and kind of fuck up the joke, because then it's like you're focusing more on the editing than the actual joke. But Riley's editing never gets over intrusive. It just barely elevates the joke a little bit more to make it a little bit funnier, but it never takes over, and that's really a good sign of great editing. I love Riley's editing style, and I think it adds so much to the videos, and I think I have like a huge appreciation for the little shit posts that he throws in sometimes. They don't happen very often, but every time they do, I'm so happy to see them. I think they add just a ton to the videos. And that's why I like the little visual gags so much, because they're rare, and like I said, they're not intrusive, and that's like all you can really ask for in editing. I aspire to have editing like that because I am a novice, obviously. So Floating Rack takes it. Rotating cast of 15 characters and putting down your dog with HIV. Rotating cast of 15 characters, I did not know that it was going to be as like much of a phenomenon as it's become, because there are bits that kind of just like have a staying power in the community and that people talk about for a long time after they happen, and people like bring up at random points. Like, you know, you'll see that with Dan Marino, you'll see that with Sports Center Top 10, of course you will see that with Dignan. I did not expect rotating cast of 15 characters to fit in that mold. I didn't think that was going to be the one-hit wonders video to kind of like take off and like to kind of hit the ground running like that. I mean, it is a good bit and I do like it, and I love that video. That video is really good. It doesn't like retcon anything that's already in the lore. It's just a weird fun thing that you can add into the lore. I love the lore that ends up being like that. Putting down your dog with HIV is fucked. It's fucked. Like, this bit really does just get ya, doesn't it? I love that when Riley was reading the title of this out loud in the bracket, he like had to stop because he didn't realize what it was saying until he was like already reading it. This bit is fucked. There's not much more I can say about it. I'm going to put rotating cast of 15 characters forward because I like it more, and I like the staying power that it's had, and I like the video that it's in more, and I like everything about this bit more. But that bit did need to be in this bracket. It had to have its place here. We finished round 1. I can't believe it. I have never spent this long filming round 1 before. Are you hyped? I'm excited. Round 2. Himmeldish Gambino and She iTunes When I Listen. This is a good matchup. These are both pretty big hitters, I feel like, and there's a lot to say about both of these, but I don't really need to reiterate my points. I think personally, given like what I've said about both these bits, She iTunes When I Listen is a little bit better. Himmeldish Gambino is a pretty basic bit that just had one stroke of genius, I think. With, I don't know, Himmeldish Gambino itself is so funny, but She iTunes When I Listen is more consistently funny throughout and has more insane examples that Graydon just lists off, I think. Bear Fight and Newborn Johnson. Bear Fight's pretty good, but Newborn Johnson is really funny. That bit is so funny, it's crazy. I need that bit to go forward. We Love You Over Here and Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust. We Love You Over Here is really good. I think that's a good bit from this video, and of course I'm gonna keep giving my love to Genius Annotations 2, amazing video. But Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust, that fell into the punchline way better, I think. As much as I love the character that Riley puts on here, I think we will see this character come back again. I'm sure I'll be able to shower this character in more love when that happens, but as of now, Brad's grandpa slayed his way through the Holocaust is better. That bit is so good. Dignan Are You Okay and Michael Jordan Drunk Driving. Dignan Are You Okay is a good bit, and I gave my reasoning for it, and I know my reasoning was fucked up and bad, and I probably should have reasoned it better. I'll do that now. I love Dignan's delivery of certain lines. I think I said this in the live chat, but the way that he says like, your ears are so shiny they look like little wax buttons, that delivery is so funny. That's so good. That's so Dignan. I like it. I love Dignan Are You Okay? But Michael Jordan Drunk Driving, that bit's really funny. That's a really funny bit. I think it's probably gonna be Michael Jordan Drunk Driving. I think Graydon is so over the top in this bit, and I love it. He's so good in this bit. Mitchell and Forfins Porpenses and Jama. I gave my flowers to Jama, but it's just not there the way that Mitchell is there. Mitchell is like, this is such a comedic peak. There's so much going on in that bit, and Jama just doesn't. It's running laps around the room while Jama's just sitting in the corner. It's Mitchell, 100%. Read between the lines in Word. Read Between the Lines is good. Word is also good. I still do not see Word being top 2 though, and I don't see Word being better than Read Between the Lines. Word is funny in concept, and Word kind of fell into its punchline too, I think, which I like when it falls into its punchline, but it doesn't hit for me the same way, I guess. I don't really know. I really like Read Between the Lines though. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just such a bit. This is such a bit. So I think it's gonna be Read Between the Lines for me. I didn't mean to like disrespect Word like that as fast as I did, but I don't know, Word top 2s. I think I'm gonna have beef with every second pick in all of these brackets. I'm gonna have some kind of beef with it. Cranial the Grape Street Crip and Whole Bowl. Cranial the Grape Street Crip has so much going on. It just feels like a more applied bit to me. Whole Bowl has a lot of really good aspects to it, but none of them really compare to the highest moments of Cranial the Grape Street Crip. So I think I want that one to go forward for this one. I think I have a lot of negative emotions about the mouse sex noises. I do. I don't mean for it to come down to that because I don't fully hate it. Just like 80% of me hates it. The Babylic Days and Adele is Jamaican Me British. I had a lot of good things to say about the Babylic Days. I love it. I love that bit. I think that bit is so funny. I know it's about me, but I don't need to deal with the backlash of choosing this over Adele is Jamaican Me British. I fear that backlash more than I love this bit. Is that good enough reasoning? Because that's the reasoning I'm gonna go with. Although I do honestly think Adele is Jamaican Me British is a better bit. It's clever in a weird way. It's clever in a way that I don't really know how to describe. So I like it better, and I'm gonna have that one move forward. The 9/11 Challenge and Slapstick Thirst Traps. Slapstick Thirst Traps is a pretty big hitter. It's a pretty heavy hitter, but it's not the 9/11 Challenge. The 9/11 Challenge is just so funny. It's an onslaught the whole time. It's crazy. But so is Slapstick Thirst Traps. But I think that the 9/11 Challenge is better in terms of length, and I think it's better in terms of staying power. It's a damn near perfect bit. Slapstick Thirst Traps just kind of doesn't compare. Home Run Celebration and Turning a Hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese. I like Turning a Hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese more. I do. Home Run Celebration is a good bit, and I do like it. It just doesn't make me laugh as hard. That's really the extent of it. I think Turning a Hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese is so applied. Taking that concept and running with it is just it's so absurd and so funny, and I love it. I really want that one to go forward. Baby Recipes and Extensive Stetson Collection. I'm still holding on to that nostalgia of the Stetson collection. I'm not gonna hold on to it forever. Like, something is inevitably going to beat it out, but for right now, it's not beating Baby Recipes. Wait, I mean, it is beating Baby Recipes, sorry. Baby Recipes, it's good, it's a good bit, but I like Stetson Collection more. I do. I don't know, I feel like this bit is just so goofy and so silly and so charming and so cute. Is that evil of me? Does that make me a bad person? Lemmy DeGranke and Manifying Objects. It's Manifying Objects. Lemmy DeGranke is a great moment, but Manifying Objects is so applied throughout. It's so funny the entire time, and Lemmy DeGranke just doesn't reach that level as consistently because it just, like, it doesn't have a chance to. Unfortunately, I love Lemmy DeGranke, but like, it can only stay in that small moment while Manifying Objects gets to last throughout the entire time that it runs. Mr. Witherspoon's music and Drake's Shower. I love Drake's Shower, but the delivery of one line is not going to carry it past the crazy energy of Mr. Witherspoon's music. That bit is so good. Sponsored by Harry Styles and Is This a Bad Guy? Sponsored by Harry Styles is great. Is This a Bad Guy is a little bit better. You spend that whole bit waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I love bits like that. Not a single comment that was made is appropriate for the situation. It's so funny. Oh my god. So I'm gonna take it over Sponsored by Harry Styles personally, but it was pretty close for that. Riley's Audition and Gun to Your Head, You Gotta Get Tattooed Today. This is maybe the hardest matchup for me so far, besides the one where I brought in Shade. Analyzing this is hard because I can't really compare these two bits. I feel like they're just so different in their premise and in their execution, and just like the fact that one of them has a guest and one of them doesn't. Usually I'm able to kind of find like a common ground between these bits, and that's kind of like what helps me find what appeals to me specifically and like what kind of sets one over the edge, you know what I mean? I think Riley's Audition is just like more consistent. It's a really long bit that stays consistently funny throughout, and I think Brad is more clever. I think Brad having that clever hit at the end makes that bit better, but I love Riley's Audition. And I like that after Riley's Audition is like, after that clip is played, Riley kind of plays into it more. I love when they do this in the bits brackets where they play more into the bit that they just showed and continue it. I love when they do that and kind of expand on it more and make it feel more like real. I don't know, suspend your disbelief a little bit more. And that's what I love about Hivemind is a lot of their bits are about like suspending your disbelief and taking you into a world that's just like absolute nonsense. I love comedy like that. That's like, it's right up my alley. I need to choose the bit based on the bit alone and nothing else. So I think I'm picking Gun to Your Head, You Gotta Get a Tattoo Today. I'm picking that one. It's like burying your child. Okay, I need to calm the fuck down. It's not like that, but no, it is. Riley's audition is such a good bit, but Gun to Your Head is a better bit. Floating Rack and rotating cast of 15 characters. These are both really good bits. I like Graydon trying to describe what he sees in this floating rack and trying to give a mental image because I absolutely 100% see it. I know, I see the vision. I see what he's going for and I get it 100%. This is one of the best like painting a mental image bits that we have on here. And I think Eden is so good in the character that she plays. Rotating cast of 15 characters is great because I like that Graydon still maintains the upper hand of the situation despite being the ridiculous one in like the ridiculous situation. The fact that he tries to play it off as like, I got a great deal for it. Both of these have a lot of really good components to them. It's really hard to pick. And we're coming down to the wire now. It's Floating Rack, it is. I love rotating cast 15 characters, but I think I love every single part of Floating Rack. I think it's so good the whole way through, but I really think rotating cast 15 characters is a great bit, and I understand the hype. That was the end of round 2. We're on round 3 now. She iTunes When I Listen and Newborn Johnson. Do I want Newborn Johnson going as far as it's going? No, like I don't. But also it made me laugh so hard. Maybe I kind of just have like a bias against it because it's so new and I don't know how it sits in the public consciousness yet. Like, I don't know what people are going to think about this, but also it shouldn't matter what other people think about this. It just matters what I think about it. And I think this bit is really funny. I think I'm comfortable doing Newborn Johnson going forward. I don't think She iTunes When I Listen needs to go that far. Brad's grandpa slaves his way through the Holocaust and Michael Jordan drunk driving. I think it's Brad's grandpa. No, Riley and Graydon both do such a great job in this bit and there's a better Brad bit in here. It's Michael Jordan drunk driving. It is. It has to be. Mitchell and Read Between the Lines. It's Mitchell. It is. This bit is so good. Read Between the Lines is pretty good, but I can't see it like going so far in a bracket just because it feels so standard to me. Like obviously like it's taken in a great direction as a lot of Hivemind bits are, but like it's not because I think Read Between the Lines is a bad bit. It's because I think everything else is such a good bit. Like I love this lineup. This is such a good lineup of bits. Courtesy of me. No, I'm kidding, but like, no, I'm not. Cranial, the Grape Street Crip, and Adele is Jamaican Me British. That's Adele is Jamaican Me British. I will stand by the same like reasoning that I gave in the first round. It clicks for me comedically in a way that a lot of other bits kind of don't. It scratches a comedic itch in my brain, if that makes sense. The 9/11 challenge and turning hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese. I like turning hospital into a Chuck E. Cheese, but the 9/11 challenge is better. It is a better bit. I want it going forward. Extensive Stetson collection and manifying objects. I brought Stetson collection probably too far. I know all the comments are gonna be like, yeah, you obviously fucking did. But like, okay, listen, okay, this video is about me and it's about my experiences. Manifying objects gets to go forward. It's better. It is a better bit than the Stetson collection by like a lot. It's like not close. This is a pretty easy matchup. Mr. Witherspoon's music and Is This a Bad Guy? I like to give these bits praise for when they do something really well. And I feel like Is This a Bad Guy just kind of like fell into itself. I do love it. But like Mr. Witherspoon's music is just it's so good. And so I need that one to go forward. And Gun to Your Head, You Gotta Get Tattooed Today and Floating Rack. I love Floating Rack, but Gun to Your Head, You Gotta Get Tattooed Today is better. It takes a classic Hivemind bit of just like escalating things to a very violent and horrifying degree. But now that you get to see the victim, you get to see how absolutely traumatized he looks. He plays into it and he plays into it really well. And I like it. He's so good at being the straight man. This is his best role. We have our final 8. Newborn Johnson and Michael Jordan drunk driving. It is... Dude, I know you do not expect me to look you in the eyes and tell you with sincerity that Newborn Johnson deserves to be in the top 4. But like when I think about bits that have made me laugh as hard as they have, Newborn Johnson is in the conversation. Am I like 14? Why do I think it's that funny? Michael Jordan drunk driving just isn't as good as it. It's not. I'm so sorry. It's fine. Okay, we're good. Mitchell, Forfeits Porpoises, and Adele is Jamaican Me British. Oh, we have 2 Genius Annotation 2 bits. The better one between these two is Mitchell. There's more going on with Mitchell. There's more. It's better. I like it better, and I want it moving forward. The 9/11 challenge and manifying objects. These are the biggest hitters that are going to be next to each other, I think. Personally, I do like the 9/11 challenge, but manifying objects is more consistently funny. Like, there's more going on with that bit throughout, and it just makes me laugh more. Mr. Witherspoon's music and gun to your head, you gotta get a tattoo today. Honestly, I swear on my life, it's gun to your head. I do. I mean it. It's amazing. I love that Riley and Graydon get to just go off and go absolutely insane with it. Like, I can't, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Okay, we have our final four. We have Newborn Johnson, Mitchell and Forfin's Porpoises, manifying objects, and gun to your head, you gotta get a tattoo today. What can I say? You already wrote the comment. You already left the comment on the video saying that I'm insane. You already told me that I fucked up on this bracket. Okay, I know. I've tried giving my explanation before, but you just don't get it. When you're in the room and you have to like do it yourself and you have to give your own reasoning, it changes things and you make worse decisions. And you have to live with those decisions. Final four, let's go through it. Newborn Johnson or Mitchell and Forfin's Porpoises. It is Mitchell. Mitchell is the better bit, it is. Newborn Johnson is funny, like I said, it did make me laugh very hard, but Mitchell made me laugh more, and it is an actual bit. It's not just stumbling into it, which I like. Like I said, I like when it stumbles into it, but also like I don't think I would be comfortable with having Newborn Johnson in top 2. I'm not even comfortable with it in top 4, but it's there. So I'd have to live with that. Manifying objects and gun to your head, you gotta get a tattoo today. This is fucked. This is fucked up, guys. It's manifying objects. Okay, listen, it is. No, it has to be. You don't even get it. I'm staring at this Google Doc. I'm like losing my fucking mind, dude. We have our top 2. Mitchell and Forfin's Porpoises and manifying objects. I'm not mad about this top 2. It's just weird. Like, okay, coming to any top 2, I'm probably gonna have a reaction like this because it's like I cut out so many great bits, but these bits are really good. Manifying objects is great, but Mitchell has like, the lore there is crazy. When I see bits in discussion, I understand why Mitchell is in discussion as much as it is. Forfin's Porpoises is stupid, and I love it. I love that it's stupid. I love a stupid little bit. It's a normal bit, but it's so much more than that, you know? It takes the best parts of like their standard dynamic and just amplifies it. And I think it works really well. And I think this bit needs to win this bracket. So do you agree? No, I know you don't, okay? I know you don't agree. I'm sorry. I appreciate you so much for watching all the way through if you did. I have a lot of links in the description. I'm going to post my final results there. I'm going to post links to my old videos if you haven't checked those out. I actually did my own take on the first and second bits brackets, so if you would like to see those and you haven't already, or if you want to watch them again, I guess, I don't know, go ahead. They're there. If I post any clips, I'll post links to that too. Okay, this is like the part towards the end of every video where I get really sappy, and if you're not into that, sorry, but I gotta. It is surreal that any of this has happened to me. The fact that like I get to be a mod for this channel, the fact I get to go on these streams, the fact I get to work on these videos, the fact that I get to talk to this community, I can't believe it. It's absolutely like, it's mind-boggling to me. I'm constantly thanking people for like positive feedback and for being nice and everything, but it's like I feel like I can't say enough, you know? I feel like no matter what I say and do, it's still just like never a proper enough thank you to the people who have like gotten me into this position, because like I'm on top of the world right now, you know? I owe everyone everything. It's crazy. I don't want to like thank specific people because I felt like that was cringe the first time I did it, but like if I have met you through this community, you mean the world to me. It was because of Hivemind, and I thank Hivemind every video, but like I can't thank them enough. I don't know how I got in this position because I feel like this could have happened to anybody, and the fact that it happened to me, it's crazy. I think I can kind of make it up to you a little bit right now. If you are active in like the Reddit or the Discord, I'm not, but I broke my silence for one thing. I compiled all of the bits that have been in the bits brackets and the one-liners, and I found the timestamps for them. Usually these are just timestamps that I already had sitting aside from working on them previously, and I put them all together. So if you're looking for a timestamp for an original bit, you got it now. It's all on Google Doc, which I will have linked in the description. They're titled accurately to how they were in the video. So if you're looking for a specific bit based on the name that you know it by from the video, just like Control F it and you'll find it. And there are also like chapters in the videos too, chapters of the videos. So if you are looking for like a specific one-liner, you can like go to the one-liners bracket and yeah, go crazy. It's cool, yeah, and I think it will help people because I know that people are constantly looking for bits. I think you deserve that gift. It's the least I can do, you know? And whenever Bits Bracket 4, One-Liners 2, or whatever comes out, I will update that doc. Incredibly, in the week since I recorded, this resource has become outdated. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes comes Nature Player in the 11th hour with HIVEFInd. It's a database of all the Hivemind transcripts where if you look up a bit, it'll search through them and it'll find the bit for you. It'll find you the video and the timestamp. It's crazy. It's an amazing resource and I'm so glad he made it. I think it's really going to change things in the community because like I've been wanting something like this for people for a while. This is an unbelievable resource and I think it's still in its beta version as of me recording, but maybe it's not by the time it comes out. So either way, as it sits now, it's a really great resource, and even though it's not perfect, it fucking works. So if you're ever looking for a Hivemind bit, whether it's been in a bracket or not, this is the premier place for it. I'll link it in the description, the same thing that I've done with everything else. If you don't know who Nature Player is, we're fucking changing that right now. He runs Just Digging Quotes, which is the first and best HMPCU page. He's the founder of the Hivemind meme page cinematic universe. And also he's like one of the best mods that Hivemind has ever had. He was like the head of the mods when I started watching them. I kind of see him as like a mentor in a way. I owe a lot to him and I really appreciate him. And if you ever see Nature Player out in the wild, whether it's like a live chat or a comment section or whatever, salute him, thank him for his service. He's incredible. That's all I wanted to say about that. Go use HIVEFInd, it's amazing. Oh, another fun thing. If you would like to see more content of me, I guess, a very cool opportunity has arisen to where I'm actually showing up more frequently as a guest on stream. So if you like the Hivemind live streams or like you want to get into the Hivemind live streams and you want to see me there, I try to post ahead of time on my social media if I'm going to be there because I want like my friends to submit their music and everything. But if you want to see me, check out those streams. You'll get to see me and Hivemind give some amazing music opinions.
I was waiting for someone to say it in chat because I hate when everybody just, anytime a girl sings.
It's a really cool opportunity though. I can't even believe that I get to be a part of that. It's crazy to me. That might be the end of everything. Is that the end of everything? I'm so happy with how the video went. Even though I always have shit to talk because I'm always gonna have shit to talk, like it was good. It was a good video and I am so beyond honored that I got to work on it. Thank you. See ya.